Oh, wow. Do you know what? If I'm being honest, when I was preparing for this film, I had an iPad with every bit of footage of Stephen ever. And while I was making the film, James, the director, allowed me to be sent the rushes and the dailies every day to see my footage, to track the performance. And you kept, because the makeup department and the costume department did such a great job at making me begin to resemble Stephen, I just hoped these things would, but of course they never do. And so if I'm being honest, when you watch a film for the first time, all you see is the mistakes. So you never see a moment that, do you know what I mean? You're never fully inside it. It's why often when you see films for the first time that you're in, you can't enjoy them. You go, all you see is the mistakes. It takes watching it a few times for you to stop thinking about the things you got wrong and start seeing the thing as a bigger picture.
Forza, alzati. Buongiorno, Brian. Ti rendi conto che hai intrapreso il corso di dottorato in fisica? Ciao.
Ciao.
Scienze.
Lettere.
Sono un cosmologo.
E cioè?
Studio la relazione tra spazio e tempo.
La coppia perfetta.
There's an amazing amount of footage from the 80s, but by which point he's in a wheelchair. So the complication was, what was his progression into the wheelchair? And Jane writes a bit about it, like says, oh, he was on a stick or two sticks. But what the specific decline was interesting to me. And so what I did is, basically with motor neuron disease, you have what are called upper neurons and lower neurons. And if your upper neurons stop working, there is like a rigid quality. Mm-hmm. And if your lower neurons stop working, there's like a wilting, a softness. Now, MND, motor neuron disease, is a mixture of those two. So which part of your body has upper or lower is unique to each patient. So to find out what Stephen's decline was, I basically found as many photographs as I could and showed them to the specialist. And she would, like, there's one wedding photo where Stephen's holding Jane's hand, and you can see his hand is on top of hers and it's soft. And so we'd go, okay, so by 1963, his right hand isn't working and it's lower neuron. And we would just chart through all of the muscles. And then I worked with a dancer to help find that decline in my body.
Nessuno sa mai da dove il prossimo grande salto arriverà.
Né da chi. E se io invertissi il tempo, per vedere che cosa è successo all'origine del tempo?
Mandi indietro l'orologio.
Mando indietro l'orologio.
Continua.
Non so come.
Per ora.
Continua a riavvolgere.
Fino a dove?
Wasn't this straightforward biopic, which can often not be great for the female character. You know, in those kind of stories, she's a bit sort of, there's not much for you to do. But so I loved when I got this script and it was these two extraordinary people, and as you say, it's very much a love story, and it's about this love surviving over 25 years. But what I also liked, it functioned on that micro level, but also was asking broader philosophical questions about, you know, why are we here? What is the meaning of love? And I loved the way that the screenplay moved between both the micro and the macro.
Si chiama malattia dei motoneuroni. L'aspettativa di vita è di 2 anni.
Voglio che restiamo insieme per tutto il tempo che avremo.
Coinvolgerà tutto.
Voi non vi rendete conto di cosa c'è oltre. Sarà una sconfitta molto pesante.
Ma io lo amo e lui ama me. Combatteremo questa malattia insieme.
Jane and Stephen, they both have their struggles. They're just very different. And playing Jane, it was very much trying to design her emotional progression throughout the film, and she's often dealing with very complicated situations where she can see this man that she's deeply in love with is going through this incredibly difficult situation, but she's not someone, you know, she doesn't want him to see how upset she is, so she's always constantly trying to hide her real feelings in order to support and protect him. Mm-hmm. But then at the same time, she's not a saint, you know, she also has her own academic identity. She falls in love with another man. It was I just loved the challenge of having to bring all this complexity to the screen.
Ha la polmonite. L'unico modo per farlo sopravvivere è una tracheotomia. Non parlerà mai più.
Sì che parlerà.
Mi chiamo Stephen Hawking.
Sembra americano.
È un problema?
stata una grande gioia vedere quest'uomo superare ogni sfida, sia scientifica che personale.
Non devono esserci limiti agli sforzi dell'uomo. Per quanto sembri brutta la vita, finché c'è vita, c'è speranza.
Grazie.
Scusa, hai detto qualcosa?
Ho detto grazie.